Warning, these will be the thoughts of us and our featured guests. Please do not judge us.
Previously on Life, Tech, and Sundry.
Especially for like parking lots. Maybe that's probably where it could be like thrive more for parking for either like street parking and parking lots. That would probably be a better idea. But I mean, I think you would have to get the city involved with that for that to really work. So that's my 2 cents.
I kind of agree with Josue though.
Imagine the tax influx the city's gonna get though from the company and the people.
I mean, I think along the lines what Josue is saying, each city is different because some cities do have more of a public transportation infrastructure where other cities like maybe LA or San Francisco isn't as plentiful, where you need to have a car to move around or else you're pretty much stuck. Whereas in New York City, the city is made, or the infrastructure was made where you're able to actually go from point A to point B, taking a bus, taking the subway, taking a train, and you can get from point A to point B like fairly easily with public transportation. And I think facilitating parking via Google Maps is a good idea.
And now, back to the show. Nowadays, life is intertwined with technology. Let's figure it out. Welcome to Life, Tech, and Sundry.
How well it's going to be implemented or how useful it's going to be for New York City per se, I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe it might be a city by city basis where they tweak the app because there are parking spots in the city. Like I think it's called 24-hour parking, and there might be other names or brands of places where you can park your car. But I mean, as far as like for me personally, if I were to go to the city, usually it's by train, and then once there, like if I'm in Manhattan, I'm walking around. If I have to take the subway, I'll take the subway. If I have to take the bus, I'll take the subway. Or if I have to take the bus, I'll walk.
Yeah.
I'm not to say that the bus there's something wrong with the bus, but I mean there is more than one form of public transportation. I mean, you can Uber it, you can Lyft it, or you can just grab a yellow taxi cab. I mean, but at this point,
or a city bike.
Or a city bike. I mean, nowadays it's like it's just so accessible in the city of New York. I mean, and I'm just talking specifically for the city of New York, especially in Manhattan. I mean, if you were to go maybe to Brooklyn or Bronx.
What about here?
Where we live, I think it would work a lot better, but that's because we don't have the same influx of traffic, and there is municipal parking, and there are places where you can park on the side of the street, whereas in the city it's a lot tougher to do so. Not every street has that type of permission where you can just park your car right there on the side of the street and put some quarters in the meter, and you go on your merry way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think again, the infrastructure is a little different, where it's the city was constructed to a certain degree with that accessibility in mind, where you don't necessarily have to have a car. I can only imagine if every person living on that island of Manhattan, were an owner of a car or 2 cars. I mean, it would be bonkers. It would just be, bananas. You would have the same, in retrospect, you would have that same sort of bad effect or negative effect, like in Mexico City, where you'll have plates that have a certain number on it, where it only circulates on certain days and at certain hours.
What?
They limit the amount of cars in circulation in the city so there isn't as much traffic to worry about.
Is this pre-COVID, during COVID, or before COVID? This has been.
No, this has been for years like that. So
They do it also in Beijing, China as well.
No.
right,
You have
exactly.
to be in queue.
There's right. So I mean, in the city of New York City, because that would really throw a wrench, in the way things, move in the city, especially in the city that never sleeps, where things need to get, done in a New York minute. So, I mean, I can't speak too much about Boston or Atlanta, Georgia, or, somewhere like Little Rock, Arkansas, or Dallas or something like that, or Chicago, or anywhere in the West Coast. But
what about Boulder, Colorado?
I don't know what the
I feel like
the numbers are on per. Yeah, go ahead, Jacob. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jacob. Yeah, no problem.
I feel like around here the biggest benefit to something like this, and I'm sure it would be a big benefit in New York too, is if it actually like showed where an open parking space was. Because I know like sometimes in Denver, if I'm driving by 16th Street and I want to stop there, get out and go to 16th Street, it could be hard to just find a spot. Like it's not necessarily the paying for the spot, it's hard, it's finding an open one.
They're like hotcakes over there.
So
Like
if they
they're
came up
gone.
with some kind of program that could. Yeah. So if this could somehow
But then-
include a feature that showed whether a spot was filled or not, that would be really useful. I would like that a lot.
But wouldn't that, I guess for Google Maps, wouldn't they have to integrate some sort of like detection system or program where maybe by satellite they're like looking,
Yes.
like Big Brother looking from above? Oh, there's a spot for you, buddy. What? How about you just
I wouldn't
park
be
it right
shocked.
there?
I
That
wouldn't be
does sound
surprised.
pretty creepy when you say it that way.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Jay.
it was meant to be that way because I mean, are we really going to sacrifice to a certain degree privacy? Like once we hit that accept, and yeah, no, I'm cool with a satellite from space looking at potentially
Or a
a spot.
drone.
But I mean, right? What else are they going to start looking at? When we're allowing them
Of course,
to.
it's Dojins.
My Dogecoin
Right?
coins.
There you go. I mean, but yeah, it's kind of a creepy thought. I mean, unless they have some sort of, like in China, where there's like 3 cameras per person in China, on mainland China, where it's like the government knows exactly what time you left your house because there was a camera on you. Where'd you, like, if you walked, how long a distance you walked, where you went, how much money you spent, where'd you spend it on, how'd you spend it, and where'd you go after you spent
Even
your
if you
money
go to the
at that store
bathroom.
or whatnot. Right. So they really have you monitored down to a T. I mean, I'm not willing up to give my privacy for no damn parking spot. But that's just me. I mean, there's other people that might think otherwise. Like, oh no, this is a step in the right direction. I mean, if it's really, I mean, and not to make light of a situation where I need a parking spot to park my car because I have to go do some sort of situation like at the post office, or if I have to go to the pharmacy, do groceries or something like that, or I have to go to my local store of whatever it is
CVS.
to do something. I can't I can't find a parking spot. I mean that it is a difficult situation one finds themselves in, but I mean I think we can advocate to do something less Big Brother-ish if that's okay. I mean,
Maybe it could be something like installed into the
advocates-
meter itself, to where the meter knows if somebody is paid or not, but it doesn't know necessarily who it is.
Nice. I like
right.
that.
I mean, and
idea.
over
You
here
could
we
just tell.
Right. I mean, over here where we are, there is that application where you can pay the meter, not being at the physical meter. You can just pay it through the app, and it works fine. It's not perfect, but it works. But again, it's not monitoring, from the sky above if that location is free or not, or what car is there. I mean, they get like, oh, there's a blue Honda with license plate number XYZ. I mean, that to me is a little too intrusive.
There's a need, and there's a demand for it. Then,
And there's a Marcos.
I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
I mean, yeah, but where do you draw the line? I mean,
I feel like we could just like have a sensor that detects when there's a car in the spot, and just be like, hey, there's a car in the spot. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
And then
true.
just relay that back to the cloud. You don't have to specifically know who's driving it, what color it is. Just know that there's a car there.
right, but then my next question would be, whose job is that to develop that type of technology? Would it be the state government, the federal government, or the actual business like a Google, to develop that technology?
Sounds like Google right now.
Yeah, because look, the way I'm looking at it,
I mean,
if
but
the
they
state
would
or
have
the
to
city
be in
or the federal government,
they would have to be like in connection
would have to
with
get
with like the city.
I mean, yes and no. I think that we would have to, because it's gonna have to come out somebody's pocket to develop that. And to be honest, like for people that don't, like, just as an example, say you're the person that doesn't have a car. You don't buy a car because you want to save money, for other things other than, a car. You'd rather take public transportation. But because the city okayed it, it's going to come out of your taxes one way or another if they have to, take on the bill. I would rather Google take or pay for it, and for whoever wants to use that app, they pay for it in some way, shape, or form without,
Not everyone.
taxing the taxpayer so much. Because I
That's
mean, if you don't have a car to
detail.
park, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, what benefit does it give you if you don't even have a car? I mean, the off chance that you have someone that you carpool with, maybe, or maybe you don't even carpool. Maybe you're at home now, but maybe a friend or a boyfriend or girlfriend, picks you up and it's like, oh, where's the parking spot? Oh, I have this app. Like, be serious. I don't think you're gonna download an app for a car that you don't own. I mean, that's wishful thinking, I think, to a certain degree. And for looking at it that way, like, I don't want to be taxed for a service that I don't use. I'd rather it be on some sort of subscription type of business model, where if you're going to use it, you pay for that service, and the company develops that type of technology for people that want to pay for it. Now, if the city or the state opts in for that, well, I don't see the need why people that don't have a car need to pay for a service such as that one. But I mean, again, that's just me spitballing, because I think when the government, has a hand at developing certain things like that, they're terrible at it. They should just let Google do its thing, or Amazon do its thing, and try, and hopefully they're not as intrusive as one would wish for, where it's like you're giving up your, to a certain degree, some sort of liberty of, trying to be anonymous or whatnot, or trying to keep your privacy to yourself, without opting into something like that, without your approval, at least.
May I interject with another question then? Do you think this is enough of a precedent to say that should be another inalienable right, and a right for privacy?
Well, I think like anything else, there's the terms and conditions you have to okay before you use a service that you're, whether it be free or paid service. There's always terms and conditions you have to, click the okay button on. Just like anything else, whether it be Facebook, Instagram or even your Netflix account. There's a term of use and conditions of services, and you okay it. And to be honest, like, who really reads through the whole fine print to okay Netflix or okay some sort of service on the apps or something like that? I think this is just one more thing that you probably just breeze right through it, click yes to all, accept, and then download it and be like, oh yeah, no, it's exactly what I need. Well, but in reality, you don't really know what it's what permissions you gave the administrator. So I mean, just recently, and I don't want to switch the topic too much, and this is just brief. Just recently, WhatsApp is the application WhatsApp that's owned by Facebook changed its terms and conditions where it's going to start storing all your messages on a server or something of that nature. And a lot of people started opting out and uninstalling the app and going to other applications that they can use. Yeah, so like a Signal or Telegram or
what?
XYZ app.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna happen. Things like that are gonna happen, and it is up to you whether you choose to use that service or use that application or whatnot. And whose money is it coming out of? Is it the taxpayer? Is it the person that subscribes to that? Is it the government? Is it the city? Is it whatever, Google, Apple, Facebook, or Amazon? It really depends how it's structured. But again, this is just my 2 cents. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking into it too much. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Jacob, Josue?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm drawing a blank here.
Hello? We can hear you.
But no, yeah. I mean, like I said before, it's for the whole purpose of like paying for parking. It's very different for each city. So maybe, like I said, some cities might not need it. Some cities might need it. So yeah, what I think.
So it shouldn't be left. A little bit of the government, but mostly private company.
What?
So I'm trying to say, basically, private company should push more towards it, like a Google versus federal government saying, "Oh, everyone's gonna need this."
I mean, I don't think they should push it. It should be on the plate. Like, huh? Google, they listen to you, Marcos.
I've been listening to. No,
oh, it's starting. It's starting, man. That's exactly my point. I guess to a certain degree, that's like the creepy part about it. It's like, I mean, you have that double-edged sword scenario where if you let government do it, it's like they're horrible at developing certain things because they're doing it with something in mind, and you can say the same thing about a private company. But once a private company does it, you already know that to a certain degree, if you have like Amazon going against Google, going up against a Facebook, they're all going to try to figure out a way to make it better. So they're going to basically competition spurs, innovation, and it, makes technology better because they're constantly looking for ways to make it not only more user friendly, but also something that actually works.
Because that's a moneymaker.
It creates jobs, right? And it creates jobs. So essentially, capitalism, to a certain degree, is the one that's propelling these companies to try to do better for the benefit of people, or the consumer. yes, it's a fickle, it's a very tricky type of thing, because it's like, all right, yeah, they might need to ask you to, sign off on all your on the permissions of your safety, and who you are, what you do, and whatever other things they want to ask you, as long as it's not your social security number or whatever. But I mean, it's, you have those two sides of the coin, where it's like, you let government do it and do a crappy job, or you let the free market go at it and figure out something amazing that's useful, and it is adapted to every different type of city with different needs.
Yeah, I agree.
At
the end of the day, I agree.
And but need to use it because they still, but again, that's just my 2 cents. Again, I can be totally wrong, but that's just my opinion.
Shall we continue to the next bullet point?
Yeah.
Hi.
Jacob?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Josue, please.
Yes, I will. Which one was it?
Number 4.
Right? Okay. It says here, I like McFlurries. Marcos?
I'm silent.
Marcos? Why did you say that? No, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Samsung's chip fabs in Texas ordered to shut down due to power shortages. The fabs go dark. A development that certainly isn't going to help the ongoing global chip shortage. According to a report from the Austin American, why did I say Austin twice? Oh no, never mind, that was fixed. The Austin American Statesman, Samsung has been ordered to completely shut down its fabs in Austin, Texas, due to power shortages in the state. The unprecedented move also impacts NXP. Oh no, not these two. It impacts NXP Semiconductors and Ifeon Semiconductors have complied with the order and ceased chip production and operations. Impacts, for instance, a 30-minute power shortage in 2018 at a Samsung fab destroyed 3% of the global supply of NAND. Additionally, as seen from an unplanned power loss at Samsung Huaxing plant last month, it can take several days after plant power restoration for a fab to resume full operation. The statesman notes that some of the products could have been ruined due to today's shutdown, possibly costing the impacted companies millions of dollars. Some types of chips can take a month or more to move through the various fabrication steps, and unplanned power outages can cause entire production lines of products to be discarded, resulting in significant losses. For now, it's unknown whether Samsung was given enough notice before the power cut to shut the fabs down gracefully, which would minimize the impact in terms of lost products and speed the resumption of normal operations once power is restored. Regardless, the impact will stem from the flow of chips coming from Samsung's 2 Austin fabs. Even relatively short fab disruption have resulted in long-term shortages and price hikes in the past, which certainly isn't good news in the midst of an ongoing global chip shortage. Chip production plants do have a backup power generators to defray the impact of unplanned shutdowns, but these systems are typically designed to handle short periods of time to enable a graceful shutdown, so they aren't suitable for long-term outages. Read more at tomsHardware.com/news/Samsung chips fabs in Texas order.
All right.
So chips be raising prices now. That's what I'm getting at. they're gonna go
Yeah, no more
higher.
potato chips, Marcos.
Yeah, right.
No more potato chips.
And now globally, you're right. There was an issue with chips being scarce around the world. Now with this,
Yeah, there's less Doritos out there.
I do love me my Doritos.
and what's a fab?
Cool Ranch.
What's a fab?
Like spicy nacho myself.
Yeah, like spicy nacho.
I like the salsa verde too.
Hey,
Oops.
hey.
Oh man. But wait, so
Tim.
if Samsung has a chip shortage, that kind of seems weird to me. I mean, are they talking about Exynos chipsets, or are they talking about the Snapdragons that they get from Qualcomm, or is it like both?
They were referring
It
to
might be
fabs itself. What does that mean, though?
Fabrication
That's a good
lab.
question. I would like to know too.
Okay, yeah, he said, yeah, he answered.
Fabrication lab.
Yeah. They usually call it a fab lab. But yes, fabrication labs.
And those can be the Exynos or the Qualcomms, right?
Yeah, it could be other stuff too.
Oh,
Like
damn.
the actual motherboard. It could be a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking the only chipsets I remember that Samsung usually or people give it like a claim is because of either their Exynos chipset or the Snapdragon chipset. But again, that's as limited as my knowledge is about it. So if they're getting grief about other chipsets that like the motherboard and stuff like that, then I wouldn't know where to start with that. That's crazy. I mean, Samsung did call out Apple earlier, or I think towards the end of the year, last year, 2020, where they basically said, hey, Apple, you asked us for these components and you didn't pay for them. You need to pay us for, I think it was like the OLED screens, if I'm not mistaken. And Apple had to pay them the money, even though sales were down for iPhones or the specific iPhone the screen was made for. So, I mean, yeah, I can see Samsung or any company for that matter running into issues of either not having enough of something or having a surplus of something, and having to pay the piper because, you know, quotas need to be met, and, you know, money has to exchange hands in order for bills to get paid. So, I mean, that is quite a scary situation where you have to pay and you don't have the money to pay for the items or the components. So, or if you have too many and you don't know what to do with them, or in this case, you know, not having enough to either use them or sell them.
Oh, and how about this? Everyone here is a Samsung user. Are you guys worried about Samsung and their fabrication labs having to go dark due to these power outages? Are you guys like worried for the company itself? How about that?
Wait, what do you mean?
No,
Because it's in Texas?
Yeah, they're all in Texas. For this situation.
Well, I will be
Wait,
missing my Doritos Locos Tacos for now. So
Or is it because because as far as I'm aware, it wasn't it Dallas that got hit the worst with
All
the
of
snow?
Texas.
Was
yeah,
it the
all
whole
of Texas
state?
all of Texas is like in a power outage right now.
Okay, so I'm thinking it's only like one specific city, or like not specific city per se, but like a specific area of Texas. I didn't think it would be the whole state of Texas.
Oh yeah, it's all of Texas.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I did hear that because Texas is like one of the bigger states. They don't have they have a power grid that's only meant for them, so they can't really get energy or electricity from another state or a neighboring state because they're not built that way. And yeah, so I don't know if that has anything to do with the the ability for Samsung to manufacture more chips that they need. So if that's the case, yeah. So if that's the case, then yeah, no, my heart goes out to the people out there. But I mean, I don't know how Samsung is gonna be able to like do its thing and get and get their like any other business or institution out there in Texas right now, they're hurting, man.
And question, Jacob, compared to right now, how close didn't Colorado and all those places suffer the same Arctic temperature drops that Texas suffered technically?
It was pretty cold last week. It got to around -10, I want to say.
Damn, but aren't you guys used to that?
Yeah, it's pretty normal around here. I think our infrastructure's built more to deal with something like that than Texas, which I think the big problem is they're just not ready for something like that. It's not what they're used to, but I'd say it gets that cold around here at least once a year.
Is it cold or cold and snow?
It was cold and snow.
So let me ask you this, Jacob. Are you one of these people that for some reason decide it's a good idea to walk around in shorts and sandals and a t-shirt as you're in the middle of a blizzard?
Where'd you hear that?
I did take the trash out in slippers yesterday while there was a bunch of snow on the ground. I was walking around with a bunch of snow stuck in my slippers, so I'd say yeah.
No.
Oh no!
That fits me pretty well.
I've seen people go to class with nothing but shorts and slippers in the snow. I'm like,
come on.
I'm here bundled up, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to tackle it. And they're like, yeah, me too. Slipping their margarita. I'm like, huh?
Their little mimosa with their slippers and the PJs.
What the heck?
That's crazy.
I saw somebody outside running when it was like -10, and it made me feel really bad about myself.
Only in Colorado you'd see a guy with his winter gear but still jogging.
Yeah, it freaked me out a little bit. It motivated me
to observe through the window.
Be
like, yeah, go, buddy.
It didn't motivate me to better myself in any way, just to feel good about him.
Yeah, like, I'm behind you in spirit. You got this.
He's like, on your left.
Well, sorry. Ooh. I came out of
got into.
It was out of nowhere. You just said that. I was like, oh, I didn't mute myself on time.
Yes, that's all you hear is on your left. On your left. On your left. That's all you hear. But yeah.
Imagine Jacob on his left, all strapped with his bulletproof vest. Like, yeah, on your left.
Well, that's how it is down here in Colorado.
Hopefully this doesn't delay the release of any phones that come out in August.
Well, Samsung devices.
But it's not even only Samsung. It's NXP and another company. And NXP is a pretty big semiconductor company too. So yeah. So hopefully this.
Fingers crossed. Okay. Shall we go?
My phone got ran over and I still haven't replaced the screen yet.
Samsung.
No way.
There's just giant craters in my phone right now.
Samsung. For tough?
But it still works.
There you go.
What kind of Samsung is it?
Ask for.
It's the S10 Plus?
Yes.
Oh my.
Nice.
I'm cool.
There's one chunk out of it where the whole screen is gone, but the touch screen part still works somehow. I did rock the case until it got ran over. over.
What the fudge, man?
But now there's in it and it's cracked all to hell.
The case saved it.
What's the worst that could happen if I keep the case off?
Oh my gosh. Was it an OtterBox or what was it?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was an OtterBox.
Yeah,
It got ran over by a big ass truck. It was a big truck. So I think the OtterBox probably did save
Was this
it.
at Amazon?
an Amazon truck ran it over.
No, it was while I was moving. It was while I was moving here, actually.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. And I left my phone in the back of it. And it fell off and he ran it over. Been doomed with the cracked phone ever since. But I've learned to accept it.
That's
I don't
crazy.
even want to get it fixed anymore, really.
Well, just a testament to how tough it is.
You know, Old Faithful right there. You can't leave it like that. You know? Oh man.
It's not like Old Yeller, at least.
You're not gonna shoot it out in the back, right?
I'm not going to pet it out of its misery. It's got years ahead of it.
There you go.
It's in its golden years.
Sometimes when I'm
times.
scrolling through stuff, a piece of glass will just kind of flake off. And
My gosh.
Oh man, you haven't cut your fingers on it, have you?
no, it's not really sharp yet.
That's good to know.
I just use leather gloves to touch it now.
Like an eagle. You treat it with respect.
I'm just scared the
right.
touch screen's gonna go out on it someday because it's so cracked, and I'm gonna go to unlock my phone and I won't be able to do it.
Well, wouldn't a solution be you call up big homie Bezos and be like, hey Bezos, you know, how about nice little discount for a nice phone, a new phone off of Amazon.
You know, I haven't. I got him on speed dial. Actually, I don't know why I haven't done that.
You know, what's a new phone for Mr. Bezos? I mean, come on.
Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? There's even insurance on my phone. I'm just too lazy to go and get it fixed.
My
Wow.
gosh.
Oh man, that's crazy.
You're in the warranty period or insurance?
Yeah. Insurance. I have cracked phone protection.
OtterBox truck protection.
There you go. That's
And I'm not even taking advantage of it.
Right. It's crazy. Nah, that's
So-
wild, man.
Shall we go to the next bullet point?
Absolutely. So this is basically my last one, and it's nothing crazy. Just something I wanted to share with you guys though, and the listeners. So it starts off with the quote. Point number 6, food for thought, and the quote is by one of the editors over at Taste, and this is basically a newsletter that I get from time to time, and I read through it usually just to see if there's anything new or different that I haven't seen yet or heard of yet, or just little articles that I usually pick up on or read. So basically here on number 6, food for thought, and it's a quote. So every Friday we're letting you know about the best things we've been reading, eating, cooking, and watching this week. We look at the long shadow of hibiscus around the world. We also have stories about the birria craze on social media, Korea's cult of grilled guts, and how to get 300% more frittata. End quote. So basically, each of these little bullet points under number 6 is something that I thought was interesting, and I wanted to share with you guys. And I'm just gonna read the little the little I guess you can say top parts of each segment. And then if you guys are interested, you can definitely hit the link and read the whole article in its entirety. I'm just going to name off a little bit of, or read off each of these 6 or 5 points I made. So the first one is an article from the same, what's it called? The same blog that I was reading it off from Taste, or the newsletter. So it's the deep maroon fronds of flor de Jamaica, or hibiscus, are utilized in the cuisine and beverages of Thailand, Panama, Senegal, and Italy, among other places. In the latest, this is quoted, "Don't call it comfort food," end quote, column. Rana Bisseret Martinez writes about summer trips to visit her abuelita in Chicago, where glasses of tea, sometimes spiked with pineapple juice, have been a staple of family celebrations for years. And basically, the article is titled "The Pliable Comforts of Agua de Jamaica," and down below it is the actual article link. The second one is birria is booming around the country, and writing in the New York Times, Tejal Rao looks at how the regional Mexican stew is now a social media star in Los Angeles and beyond. The birria boom is complicated but simply delicious. And this is the quote from New York Times with its link to the actual article. The third one is Priya Krishna wrote about Korea's cult of grilled guts. And the title is "The Cult of Grilled Guts." And this is an article on Taste with its link right underneath. The next one is "Baking eggs by the dozen is smart. Using a sheet pan is smarter for 300% more frittata." And then the quoted title, "Frittata was made for a sheet pan." And this is an article again from Taste and its link. And the last one is "This is what perfect tonkatsu looks like" by Eater, Tonkatsu Hinata. And the YouTube link is right underneath. So just really quick, guys, I just wanted to mention off the bat, I found these articles particularly interesting because a lot of these things I have tried out and I have eaten, with the exception of the Korean style guts. That is something I haven't had yet, but I'm looking forward to. As far as tonkatsu, I haven't had it by Tonkatsu Hinata in particular, but when I went to Japan, I went to Tokyo, try tonkatsu, and it was simply delicious. Frittata, not only have I tried it, but I've made it before, and it's something that it's not difficult to make. It's really simple, and it really goes to show you how versatile eggs are in that sense. For birria I've tasted before, not exclusively from a taco truck or a birria truck from Los Angeles, California, or from anywhere else, but I have tasted it here in New York, homemade, and it is quite delicious. I can see why people have been showing a lot of love to the actual dish, birria, and you know how the elements, or I guess you can say culturally speaking, why it flourished in California, in Los Angeles, and how the dish has evolved, I guess, in a certain way, where you have like birria ramen and stuff like that, and a lot of people you can see either preparing or making or eating birria tacos or stuff like that. And no, it's a really wonderful dish, and it does deserve to be shared with a lot of people because it's delicious. And then the last one, which was the first one I read off, was hibiscus. A lot of people, at least I wasn't aware until, not because of this article per se, but when I went to culinary school, I had the opportunity to work with different people from around the world, as far as like from the Caribbean islands to other places around the world, like Panama, like Jamaica, like a St. Lucia, and a lot of these places do use hibiscus and do make it into like a tea or some sort of water or beverage, and it's very refreshing, very delicious type of beverage. And I did want to share this with this article in particular with people, because it's something that also isn't terribly difficult to make or prepare, and when you pair it with a meal, it goes, it plays well off of each other. Like personally, I would make hibiscus or agua de Jamaica when I would eat like a meal, a Mexican meal, like enchiladas de mole or enmoladas for some might know it better that way, or even possibly like tacos al pastor. It plays well with that dish. And there are other dishes you can probably pair it with, and it would pair well with. And it's just something I wanted to share with you guys. And if you had any thoughts about any of the things that I read off, or if you did have the time to actually read it during the week, definitely I would like to start the conversation, because I think food is one of those things that you could call it a great unifier, because breaking bread with people, I mean, it gets a conversation rolling. So what do you guys think?
Jacob, if you will, or Josue, whoever wants to. I'd reserve my space for last.
All right.
I've never ate actual hibiscus, but I used to vape, and I had a hibiscus flavored e-juice, and it was really good.
Awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Great. It was like inhaling a flower.
Flower power.
Flower power. But yeah,
That's awesome.
It was really good. I want to try actual hibiscus, though. I'm sure it tastes similar, but it seems like artificial flavors are usually a little bit off, so I'm sure it tastes a little bit different. What does it usually go on? What would you usually put hibiscus on?
Usually it would be prepared like if because it's a flower, it's a botanical. You could usually boil it and make tea out of it. So it's not necessarily an ingredient for cooking per se, which you could probably use it, but it's a very light type of flavor. In flavor, it's very light. It's not very pronounced, but when made into tea, or like a refreshing beverage, it does have its unique botanical flavor. I would call it, or I would compare it akin to like maybe a cranberry juice or cocktail.
Kinda, yeah.
It's similar in color and almost similar in almost flavor, but not quite. It has more of a rose water-ish type of floral botanical flavor, which is again very refreshing. It's not a very pronounced flavor. It's not very overbearing. It cleans the palate. If that makes sense to anybody. Like personally, when I eat something that's very decadent or heavy, agua de Jamaica or the hibiscus tea or water is very refreshing. It does clean your palate. And again, it usually when prepared, it's not tremendously sweet. Obviously, you make it however you want to make it. If you would like to add some agave syrup, you can use that, or brown sugar, or some simple syrup or sugar water, or if you don't like to drink it with sugar at all, it's also according to the ancient people, I guess you can say, or more of a grandma used to say that it's good for your kidneys. It flushes you out. So again, that's usually how people use hibiscus to drink it, basically, not to eat it per se.
I do enjoy botanicals. That's why. Oh my god! I turned my microphone volume all the way up.
That's okay. We kind of want to hear you.
It might be better that way, even.
Yes. More volume.
More value. I do like.
Now you were saying though, Jacob.
I got you. I'm managing it.
That's why I like gin so much.
Yes.
It has juniper and sage. I bet you I could find a gin with hibiscus in it and then make a gin cake out of it.
Yeah, very good, sir. I like the sound of that.
I like it. I approve.
Anything else, guys, that struck you as interesting, or your thoughts about any other of the articles or anything else I mentioned on this one?
Jose, any thoughts?
I'm gonna pass it on to Marcos, so he's now last,
And I pass it on to Jose.
and I pass it back to you.
And I say, miss me.
Full
with
counter.
That.
Could I pop in for a 3-man weave?
What?
That was I like it.
Oh man.
You're like break it up. You're throwing you're hitting everyone with the pepper spray.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, Marcos.
And back to you, Jose. Yes.
Oh, come on, not again. So yeah, Marcos,
Come on, Jose.
you do it. I don't want you to be last.
Oh, thank you. I like the tonkatsu. That's a ramen. I'm a ramen fan.
Oh well,
We're
the
gonna have to fact
tonkatsu.
check that again.
Yeah, that's a little different, bro.
Isn't tonkatsu a ramen?
No, it's part of if someone wants to add it. Tonkatsu is deep fried pork cutlet.
Damn it. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
That's just like a very simple, I guess you can say,
probably a
explanation of
simple
what it
name.
is. No, of what it is. There's more to it because if you watch the video, the owner and then the chef explains to you the type of cuts of pork that they use and the standard breading procedure that they use. So flour, egg wash, and then panko breadcrumbs. There's a specific type of panko breadcrumbs that they use that's from a certain region in Japan where they buy their panko. The oil that they use to deep fry the actual cutlet in is also a very distinct type of oil. It's not just your run-of-the-mill regular canola or deep frying oil. So there's levels to this type of kontatsu that they're making, and it basically equates to a very distinct and very high quality product or outcome. So it's super decadent, juicy, and crispy, crunchy, and just overall porky goodness that you get from the tonkatsu. I hope I made you guys hungry.
But of course.
So yeah, it's deep fried to a golden crispy perfection, and you can eat it as is with no problem. It's just cooked ever so slightly to get it up to temperature to what in Japan they have their own temperature danger zone. So once it's fully cooked to their standards, they serve it. So they cook it in such a way where it's fully cooked through, but it's not cooked to death where you're chewing on a wallet basically, and it's basically the tonkatsu is cooked or seasoned, or I guess the final product is good enough to eat as is without anything. But obviously, for those that like dipping sauces and stuff of that nature, they'll recommend you something for that particular cut of tonkatsu. And they've been going at it for quite a while now, and they've gained
it's an art,
some sort of reputation for their dedication to what they're making. So I that's something that now I have on my bucket list to do.
Do or try.
Try and
Extra
maybe
thick.
either I'm happy with both making it and actually eating it. So it would be a twofer,
Yeah.
I would hope to be able to, when the world reopens, to go back to Japan and go to that specific place and try their delicious tonkatsu. Because once you see the video, you start understanding that they have a very, very passionate way of explaining, preparing, and making tonkatsu, which, just goes to show you that, they're very passionate people, that they deserve that recognition, and makes you want to go over there. At least for me, it makes me want to go over there and try their eats, their local fare.
Respect. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
the foods.
Is there anything else you guys want to ask me about for this last segment, or do you guys want to move on?
I'm okay with my questions.
All right.
Yeah, so am I.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to move on to the shower thoughts for Mr. Marcos.
Yes.
All right, Mr.
No,
Marcos.
I'm not under oath for this one, so I'm going to try to be brief. Okay.
Do you solemnly swear?
No. To whom? To the thoughts? Yes.
Basically.
Okay, and the shower. Okay, Marco shower thoughts.
All right.
Getting an important life lesson from a song is very nice. There's a greater appreciation that I didn't expect. Life lesson acquired. And
we're gonna have to change that. We're gonna say you expected it.
Salutations, Marcos here. This is a message to all the listeners out there. There are links in the show notes for our Twitter, email, and even show notes. Any questions or ideas for the podcast can be sent via these links. Now, back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. Have you guys listened to that song?
Gotta know when to hold them.
That's
Yes.
right.
I don't know. It hit me deep. Like I was like, I'm learning something.
Life lessons there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's the other one, and then there are ones that tell you a good story and encourage me to do research. And it was Johnny Cash, The Big Iron, and it was basically an Arizona Ranger going, bounty hunting. Now, my question from this was, do all U.S. states have rangers? Not park rangers, like Texas
Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
Texas
Right.
Rangers, Arizona Rangers, New York Rangers, something
Mighty
like that.
Morphin Power Rangers.
So you're saying Power Rangers.
Well, after my quick research, turns
It's
out
Morphin time.
that the Rangers came up from the British in the United States when they were fighting the French. And they were used there as a guerrilla group that had to be not in England terrain, basically out of country terrain, survive on it and thrive in guerrilla warfare. And then they stopped being used, and they were used again in the Civil War against England with the locals. The locals were trained as rangers in the military sense. Then not the Great Expansion. What's the word that you were saying? The expansion to the west?
I cannot. We have used that word way too many times.
Manifest Destiny, yes. Everything west from the Mississippi technically had rangers. All those states, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, all those states basically have rangers. Everything nowadays, besides the military, have park rangers. And some of them have the ability to enforce the law. Some of them are police officers, not all of them. So that was the thing that I learned from them. Now, the final thing, and this was a recent thing that I found. In industries, the implementation of new designs, development processes, and integration methods is key for survival and leadership. And the title is the U.S. Air Force or the U.S. Air Force or anime industries are no different. The title for this one, U.S. Air Force has secretly built and flown a new fighter jet, a sixth generation, if you will. And then there's the link. The next one, talking to a real JoJo animator featuring Ken Arto, Trash Taste, episode 36. And then the quote from this that I found interesting: all anime is dub. Checkmate, sub elitists.
Ooh.
Yes. And then I put a timestamp exactly where it came from. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That I feel like this one was more towards anime. My passions, anime and engineering, is in this segment, the aeronautical one. They're both examples of two different spectrums of how to innovate. One with money and one with little money, aka anime, and the other one with just throw money to the problem. But still, there has to be results. And we can see how the US is trying to secretly, I don't know, this is just marketing, unfortunately. And another thing that I thought about it is that this is just marketing on the US side, propaganda, if you will. And then the first person experience of an animator, of a drawer, digital and physical drawer, with as little money but to put in a lot of hours is just I give it my respect. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's it. Ow. Why'd you whip me?
How dare you try to disrespect the sub community? Stay back.
It's a fact, though. The animator said it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
You're talking about the same animators who get paid to say this.
No.
But I mean, just to I guess to chime in here real quick. But, I mean, I get where the animator is coming from, or the person that you can call an expert, quote unquote expert. But I mean, we're basing off our I guess standard off the finished product, not the in between, in progress, type of product. We're not with dude right there, waiting for the voice actor to actually read off the page to give life or the voice to the actual character. So I mean, I get where the person is coming from, but in essence, we're only I guess observing the final product. So to say that everything originally is what I think you said dubbed, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, but that's only because they have to make the actual product. I mean, we're only privy to the actual final product. So I mean, it doesn't
that's
really...
why he was giving his insight, and this was the running joke between Josue and myself.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Like this guy literally said that, and I'm like, oh, I got excited.
You basically had this. So you basically made this point just to make Mr. J feel upset. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
From a legit person that's in the market.
So I'm gonna have to chime in.
The pettiness.
I'm gonna have to chime in and say that this is an opinionative piece. This is irrelevant.
Like, this is rigged. This is rigged.
I'll tell you why. Because number one, here's red flag number one. It's made by the group of the Anime Man, so Trash Talk, and they're terrible.
Just because of name trash.
Listen. Joey is trash. He gives the worst recommendations. That's red flag number one. Number two.
Oh, shots fired.
He was explaining. He was explaining that number one.
I like this.
He was talking about doing it in Japanese. So
what other language are we talking? Yeah.
So when he was saying dub, he meant sub in reality.
No, he was saying that the animators give it their voice lines that they record, and then the final voice actor, even already in Japanese, says it again with the tone and everything from the original script from Japanese. They're constantly switching out the scripts. That's what they were saying. I mean, they said it there. That's why I put the timestamp.
What timestamp? 1 minute 24?
No, 1 hour. Silence.
I mean, number one, this guy says 50 years. 50 years, and this guy doesn't look like he's been alive for 50 years.
What?
So...
What?
So
he's Asian. He gets a pass.
No, it does not. You can tell the difference.
What
So
you're
I'm
what,
gonna,
no.
I'm gonna have to cross
You're gonna
this
have to
out.
listen to the entire
I'm gonna have to
episode to
cross this
understand.
out. Nah, I don't like Joey.
You hate it. See, you're
Yeah.
biased towards his hatred.
Because Joey's terrible. I know his work.
Sample.
All right.
Wait, okay. Let me ask one thing. Since I mean, you can always chime in, Jacob. But I'll ask this to Josue and to Marcos.
Yes.
Your thoughts about the actual trash? What's the name of the actual podcast? Like the complete name? It's
Trash Taste.
Okay, Trash Taste. For the people that are on Trash Taste, what do you think about each of the individuals that run the actual podcast show of Trash Taste? Do you again, Mr. J already disapproved of Joey? Is his co-host? Do you find them also on that same level as Joey, or do you find him or them? I don't know if it's a girl, a guy necessarily, or two guys or two girls with him. Like, do you find them to be on the same level as Joey, or do they get a pass from you, Mr. J? And Marcos, your thoughts about the people on that show? And Jacob, if you have anything to chime in on about, please let us know.
Josue, please.
I didn't even hear the question.
You're so angry that you didn't hear the question.
All you gotta say is this.
Those weren't words.
I didn't say they were words.
Where's my big iron?
But what was the question again?
So, like, what do you think about besides Joey? Because you already disapproved of him. So
Yeah, he's terrible.
So what about the other people that are with him? Or does he have more than one co-host, or does he have co-hosts?
So I only know one other one.
Okay.
And to be honest, he's like right there with Joey.
Oh.
Okay, but can you break it down a little bit? Like you
So
mentioned that you don't like.
I'm talking about the wannabe voice actor.
Joey?
No, Connor. I think his name is.
Okay.
The wannabe British voice actor.
Wait, so like, does he also give bad recommendations? Because that's where that was your point.
Yeah. Well, no, because he doesn't really give recommendations.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
So you're basing yourself on...
And then Joey has a very specific like of anime, which me personally I don't like that much. We do like mix, but I feel like his is like, he's like the old timer is like, you don't, he's like older anime was better. And to be honest, I'm one of these people that like Full Metal Alchemist is kind of overrated.
He even thinks that one's overrated.
Nah. No, we're talking about that's his top 10.
Is that right? I mean, I don't know much about the gentleman that you speak of, but I guess I'm gonna have to look through the episode that Marcos timestamped in order for me to get a better grasp of where they're from, or what they're talking, or where they're coming from as far as their viewpoint for anime. Do they only talk about anime, or is it also manga, or
because they talk with they speak with an animator, so they basically explain how do they go into the process of animating it. But he never says the line is dub anime. All anime is dub anime. Check me sub. He never says that.
Who says that?
He never says that.
Who says it?
Literally, the first thing he says is like, we don't even know the lines.
Keep listening.
Yeah,
it sounds like you're at the timestamp. I put it a little bit aside.
He literally says, when we're making the production of the actual animation of it, we don't even know what they're saying. We just assume what they're saying. We have like a basic script of it, but we don't have the final production script of it.
And then continue what the other guy jokingly said, because I want this. This is the joke. Continue listening.
Well, I don't care about Joey. I care more about the animator.
Oh,
because like I said, Joey is no.
You're like, no.
No.
I don't know if Josue is being what's the word, gatekeeping, or it's the other way around. He doesn't even want to go into the gates.
Listen, I've told you this. It's already been foretold.
Foretold. So there's a prophecy.
No, it's been told before.
Okay.
So you just don't approve of his
that's why I go with
expertise, maybe
his taste.
Or
his taste. Okay, I mean, but that's all subjective.
If I were to give a character, if I were to characterize Joey, I'll put him in like Kazuma from Konosuba. That's how I describe him.
That's harsh.
That's how I describe Joey.
So you don't like his point of view at all, or his recommendation?
No, not at all. But majority point, yes.
80%.
So you don't
90%.
agree with him 80% of the time?
Yeah, I'd rather listen to For Never than Joey.
Okay, For Never is someone I have listened to because I think I've shared a couple of his videos with you guys about his news updates.
I feel like For Never gives better recommendations to Joey.
That agree with your taste.
On manga or anime or both?
Both.
Okay.
But
is there someone else in the space that you guys
even though Joey
like?
is half Japanese and lives in Japan, I feel like For Never gives better recommendations.
I think ethnicity or nationality has nothing to do with taste.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Doesn't that have to do with because he lives here on the East Coast and he lives in Florida? I mean,
he's
maybe
who? For Never?
For Never,
Yeah, For Never lives in Florida.
Wouldn't our I guess you can call it taste overlap a little bit better?
No, because I like Joey. One of the good things I like Joey is that he's a big memer. And For Never isn't, but For Never goes into detail with it. Like, he takes it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm like in somewhere between, but I rather side with For Never more than Joey. That's why I say Joey is more of a Kazuma. He's a kind, but if you were to grab him and punt him across the field, you could do that.
Lord, why would you do that to the man?
And he'd say, "I deserve this," or something. He's messed up. Yeah.
He could be like, Joey's here. Yes, that's me.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
But yeah, this is what I wanted.
Wait, so what about you, Marcos? Do you approve or disapprove of the gentleman that Josue likes or doesn't like?
Tastes. I like all their tastes, and I may disagree with them.
They literally admit that their taste is trash.
Yeah, that's the premise. Like they make fun or criticize their own different opinions, and I like the discussions that there's in between. And this is what I wanted from Josue. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. Think about it. You know who else I think is better than Joey? Who?
Nux Taku.
Mother's Basement. No.
What? No. Nux is a lot better too.
I can't wait.
Because Nux takes it and he's proud of it. Joey is like, that's why I say he's more of a Kazuma. He's like, what? Sumimasen.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about this, but I've successfully turned against this Joey guy.
Oh.
You see, Joey. Joey is like, he'll be proud of it until you go against him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then Nux is like, you. If you try to go against him, he'll try to figure some way out of it. And then For Never got the details.
And not say sorry.
And still not say sorry.
And then For Never, he's an in-depth.
He's the professor.
I like his style. Yeah. If I want straight facts, I go for him. Yes. For Never.
Even though Joey literally lives in Japan, speaks Japanese,
he gets the nuances.
He can get the news faster than For Never. I would still rather go to For Never.
Oh,
is it a nationality thing or just tastes?
Nah, because I would also listen to other people from Japan. But because it's Joey, it's like, nah. Just for who he is.
What about this other gentleman called Gon?
Connor?
Gon? Gon?
Who?
Giga.
I have no idea who that is. Okay. He can go in the fire pit with Joey too.
Oh, straight to the hole. He's like,
damn, bro.
Straight to the hole.
Like, not even the hole of the fire pit, just
Connor? Straight to the hole.
His British self too. Boom.
Oh,
he's a great dude. He's a good dude. Terrible though in anime recommendation.
In taste. In his job. In his job.
That's why I said wannabe voice actor.
That's crazy.
I guess.
Wait, but does he really voice act for real? Like, does he get paid
He
for
does
that?
side jobs.
He does side jobs, yeah.
I'd rather listen to Kagi Films himself.
Who the fuck
Kagi
is
Films is
that?
another YouTuber that's right now on another series called.
But see, he's also a voice actor, but he does voice acting. He's in a few gigs like
Hunter? X-Hunter, I think? No?
no, he wasn't Hunter X Hunter.
Okay.
He's Shallot, the voice of Dragon Ball Legends.
Okay.
He's
So, but Like, you
What else
like
he-
his recommendations or his style better
His-
than the other
I like his
style?
style. Kagi doesn't really give recommendations. He kind of hints towards them, but his style is a lot better.
Okay.
And he uploads more frequently.
Okay.
You're
I see.
entertained by him more.
Yeah. And he's actually a really good voice actor. He's in
Irregular at the Magic High School.
He's in regular at the Magical High School as well.
So then let me ask you a question, guys. So if we were to have the opportunity to go to Japan sometime in the near future,
You go up to Joey and say,
I'm
"What?"
gonna go to
what would be that
Hakai.
reaction? Would you go looking and hunting him down or something?
What
Also,
are we like? What are we?
No, I wouldn't deliberately
Even waste
go
your time.
hunting
You would
for
just
him.
enjoy
Yeah.
the.
You would-
Unless I get a
of
phone
Japan.
call and be like, it's time.
No, you
And
get it, and you get a request to get into his podcast. You sit next to him and just look at him. No.
No, I'll
Anything
be
he
like,
says, no.
No. I'm gonna be like, you see out that window? It's like, yes. There's a giant boulder aimed at this place. I'll live. You guys won't. All right.
Okay.
And it's straight from Colorado.
It's
Boulder
straight up on the other
imported
side.
from Boulder.
Yes.
It has your name right there. It says from Boulder.
Well, that's crazy, man.
Boulder-chan.
Boulder-chan. It's not Truck-kun anymore. It's Boulder-chan.
Boulder.
No, it's
We
a
switching up the
Pokemon
name?
too.
And it's
All
gonna
right,
be
so-
it's gonna be like Angry Birds with the giant slingshot.
Oh man. All right, so I mean, I think we went on long enough on that particular item or segment. Let's start wrapping it up. I mean, this is a great segue. Let's hold off on other people in the space, I guess, and go on to our anime segment. What do you guys think?
Yes. What, Marcos?
Yes.
What did you just try to play?
One more thing.
He knows what he tried to play. He was like, no, that's too much. He was like this. But yeah, so now that we're here in the best section,
Okay.
so let's just go back with
One
This,
more thing.
Like you cut, G.
oh, we finally found it.
Excellent. Okay.
It only took me an hour.
Right.
So going back to Jacob, since in the beginning of the podcast you did mention that you finished Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Maybe not so much Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball.
Do you solemnly swear, Jacob?
Oh no.
I solemnly swear, under oath, I have seen both of them all the way through.
Okay, yes.
Now, was this like a childhood type of thing, or was it like it's been a few years back?
It started as a childhood thing. I always liked Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but then I rewatched it subbed, not dubbed,
Oh,
like 2 years ago.
It's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to make mistakes.
so have you
I'm
heard
kidding.
have you heard of the continuation of Dragon Ball Z?
I have yet to watch any of it for some reason. I don't know why. I
have to-
haven't watched it yet.
You just have to wait for the dubbing. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
What do you mean? He's hyping it up. He knows what he wants to watch it in. And to be honest, don't watch it in dub at all. Trust
If I
me.
watch it, I'm
They
gonna
ruined
watch
it.
it sub
There you go, buddy.
all the way.
I'm
yeah.
speechless.
I'm not. That's expected. He knows. He's a man of culture.
Oh, good lord.
He has a fedora in his closet and everything.
He probably has a beanie. It's freaking cold right now. It's better to have a beanie.
3-piece suit. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
legitimately wearing a beanie right now.
Oh man.
He's under oath, remember.
He's under oath. So I guess we can like go into depth of the recent Dragon Ball. What have you heard about it?
I really don't know a lot about it. I know that there's like gods involved, and there's Beerus, I think it's pronounced. He's like some
There's
kind of
Dende's,
Catman.
yes.
Catman. But
Mr. Catman, yes.
I haven't watched any of it.
Okay. So there are gods in there. There's a cat. His name is Beerus.
There's a Blue Man group.
There's not
There's
a Blue Man group. There's not
Do
a
they
Blue
play
Man
the
group.
weird drums?
See, this is what happens when Marcos don't have his medication.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He starts talking about how great Dub is, and then he starts talking about the Blue Man Group. So I would like to I guess skip a few episodes and talk about, because I like talking about the latest transformations, and I know that these guys haven't even read the manga either. Maybe they heard a snippet of it.
No, sir. No snippet for me. This is all news to me.
But
This is all
I
new.
have seen there's Super Saiyan God.
So
Okay.
just to skip a few things, Goku has reached basically it's sort of like a point of I guess some people can say enlightenment, but like it's real. It's like of extreme calmness. He's so extreme that they consider him ultra.
That he's calm.
He's ultra calm. But no, the technique that I'm mentioning is called Ultra Instinct. I don't know if you heard about it.
I have, but I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Have you seen
So,
Ultra Instinct Shaggy?
Marcos, do not defile the name of Ultra Instinct. How dare you? Hold up. Here you go.
It's a good thing I muted him. You're back.
Haha.
You're back again.
But yeah, so basically to simplify, because there is a whole explanation, but to simplify it is basically a point. You reach your body a point of like of complete calmness that you're able to you're aware of everything around you. You're so aware that you allow your body to make movements on its own. So one thing the teacher that was teaching him this was saying that while you are an amazing fighter, you think way too much. You don't let your body move on its own, and because of this you are holding yourself back. So he reached to that point that he can basically it's kind of funny to explain it, that his body can react on its own. So when he was facing people that even some people of the highest level had time anticipating, once he reached this form, he was basically playing them like the fiddle, and just bobbing and weaving like it's nothing,
like Muhammad Ali.
And since this is like a point that not a lot of people can reach, it was a very big shocker to everyone when he reached it. So the reason why I explain this is because in the manga, he actually masters it. So we see when he first unlocked it in the anime, one of the repercussions of having this technique was that he had a lot of knockback. I don't know if you two remember that episode when he finally lost it. Yeah, when he finally lost it, his body was in complete like shock.
Yes, like a
He
hangover.
couldn't move it. Marco, why do you say this
like the KO Kid?
Exactly.
DDC.
But this one was worse.
Okay.
Like you saw like when you saw him happen, it looked like he had his guts spilled out.
Good Lord.
It would have been better if he had his guts spilled out.
It would. Now he has mastered it to the point where he's able to use this technique for, I think he said, at least 5 minutes without the sudden knockback. He's used it. I kind of bring back the Power Ranger. He was able to manifest like him is basically a giant version of himself to fight giants, or this giant monster that he was facing. So I say this to get excited, because even though before that it does get kind of boring, once you reach that point that I say that we unlocks it gets really hyped.
All right,
Yeah.
we got to watch it.
Yeah, my suggestion would be watch the 2 movies before, and then maybe skip around until you reach the arc is called the Tournament of Power. So yeah.
No less than 100 episodes.
I wish there was something to stream it on. I don't think it's streaming on anything that I have, at least.
Oh, well, there is something they're streaming on. Marcos?
What is that? I feel like we're doing an ad read.
No, we're not. No, it's streamed on this illegal website called. No, I'm kidding.
If only there was some bay of pirates I could go to.
But no,
Nice.
I don't think it's on Netflix. If you really want to support and give your money into it and do it the legal way, you can do it through Funimation, which is the actual company that dubs it. But they do have it subbed. Fortunately, they saved themselves.
Fortunately,
they know how bad it is. They know how bad it is. So, but if you
Wait,
do
don't they
want
have it also on
strictly,
Hulu? Or am I wrong?
I think they do. Yeah,
Okay, just making sure. I'm not sure.
I think
myself.
at least.
Okay, I have Hulu.
There you go. Hopefully they should have the sub. Hulu's a little bit more respectful on that. But it's also on Crunchyroll, I think, as well, right?
I'm looking up
it
Hulu right now.
It broke in Crunchyroll, right?
I think so.
No, yeah, the episode where he finally showed that for him, he broke the servers.
Oh yeah. I remember that happening. Yes, you're right.
They broke the illegal websites too.
My
They broke all the
gosh.
websites, huh?
Yeah, they broke the illegal websites as well.
That's crazy.
So
I
I'm
remember
looking at Dragon Ball Super right now on Hulu. There's season 1, episode 1 dub. So
Yeah, I was looking too. It looks like it's only dubbed and no movie. They don't have the movies.
oh my gosh. They have all okay, basically for the Tournament of Power, it's up in the 90s. You can avoid everything in between if you want to, if you see the movies.
Yeah, you could definitely pirate that.
Oh man,
Just don't say it was for me. Say it was for Marcos, because he likes
that's
dubbing.
quite a recommendation you got
You
there.
can just pirate that out.
It's okay.
Or we could probably give you the hookup, the 30-day free trial for Crunchyroll.
Just a disclaimer,
AKA
everyone. We do not
Go
condone
Anime.
illegal activities. All right.
Don't worry, it's completely legal somewhere.
Somewhere out there.
I'm actually in a bunker in Belize right now, so
Hey,
Good, as you should.
it's totally legal there. Yes.
But yeah,
Oh man.
but as far as news for anime goes, I think we said this before. Black Clover is on a hiatus coming up the end of next month, so be sad for that.
Be sad.
What else? Jujutsu Kaisen's just picking up now. It's getting better. It's fire.
That latest episode. Ooh, Très Magnifique. Mwah.
And
What
that's
else?
from the chef.
That's from the chef, not from the dubber. We don't listen to the dubber.
Have you guys been up to speed with One Piece or what's it called? The time I got reincarnated as slime.
I've been up to the manga with One Piece.
Okay.
So basically, he's like 2 years ahead of the
Exactly.
animation.
No, it's less like a few months.
Yeah, it's not that bad. The Black Clover one was the one that was bad. That's why they're holding off right now.
Yeah, Black Clover, they're pretty close.
Yeah, because they
But
caught
my
up.
boy Asta with the new drip.
In that new form?
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh man, that new form is crazy, man.
I'm like,
That
yo.
new form is crazy.
He's about to clap some cheeks with that. Just wow.
Also, just really quick, have you guys been watching Quintessential Quintuplets?
Of
At all,
course.
the second
That's a
season?
tongue twister.
Yeah, try
Yeah.
to say that 3 times fast, right?
Isn't this on the Learning Channel right after My 600-Pound Sister?
Basically.
Yeah, but these
that's
aren't.
crazy.
These are these are a little bit better. You
What
have
about Dr. Stone?
Get stoned by Dr. Stone.
That's right. How about the hidden dungeon only I can enter?
that has to be a hentai.
No, what?
There's
The
actually not.
There
No,
has
it's
to
not.
be a hentai for it.
No, that's
I
you're
don't
talking
know,
about
man.
Peter Grill.
Oh.
Peter Grill.
Oh, so tell Jacob about
No,
that.
that's your favorite. I haven't finished it. You
Is
have.
that
I haven't
your forte?
started it.
Is that your speciality?
That's your specialty.
Or have you heard about Peter Grill, Jacob?
I have not heard about.
Wait, there's an
Peter
anime
Grill.
called Peter Grill Jacob.
Yeah, right. Or have you heard about interspecies reviewers?
Oh no.
Based off the title, I don't know if I want to know.
You don't.
You don't, Jacob.
Don't even get started on his favorite one.
Have you seen the meme about stonks?
What is that? I don't even know.
I know about stonks.
That's from Interspecies Reviewers. The original meme is from him, from the main character. The main character's name is Stonks,
Okay.
and
I thought this had something to do with squids.
close enough.
See, Mark is an expert on this.
I haven't seen it, and I'm an expert. That's awesome. But yeah, what
about Attack on Titan? Anybody?
It's too emotional.
Oh yeah, where
Is
he's
that
like, what you gonna do?
When the
What you gonna
Eldians are
do?
coming for you. Bad Titan.
All right.
You
and
know
what
what's
about
something
World
crazy?
Trigger?
Actually, I learned about Hange.
Bless you.
I think that's the name of the character, right? Hanji Hange.
Okay,
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I know what you're talking about.
I recently found out that the character is non-binary.
Is that right?
Yeah, I always thought it was a girl.
He was portrayed. She was portrayed as a dude as well during the manga.
Well, in the manga, yeah, but in the anime, she's portrayed as a girl. And according to the authors, whatever you like. I'm serious.
Interesting.
Oh, as an attack helicopter.
If you look up the wiki, it doesn't say non-binary. It says ambiguous. And he literally explained it as it could be whatever you want.
Squid.
I'm
person.
like, wait, what?
Yes.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah, especially with the newest episode with what the character said.
It's inappropriate. No.
Exactly.
Call HR.
FBI?
HR. No.
Nah.
Nah.
But I still find it funny. He's like, what are you gonna do? So he's like, say it right now.
So, have you guys also caught up to World Trigger at all?
No,
I haven't finished the beginning, so I'm
I
embarrassed.
haven't even
to-
started it.
Okay. No, just double checking, making sure. Because I mean, as far as like, I guess anime wise, like pretty much those are the things that I've been watching or trying to keep up with. and I'm leaving at least 1 episode to 2 episodes, free, so I can just in case, God forbid, Crunchyroll.
Then they forbid.
Crunchyroll shuts down, or something happens animation wise, like I can hold off at least 1 or 2 episodes, so I have something to watch.
But have you heard that Demon Slayer got announced for season 2?
Yes, Demon Slayer. I still need to watch the movie.
Yeah, me too.
That's something I'm really looking forward to.
I know what happened in the movie, but I haven't watched it.
Don't spoil it. You're like, I know.
That's cool. I mean, again, I think are we getting? There's a lot of season 2s or season 3s or even 4s that are about to pop up during. I think, what is it, next season or towards the end of the year?
Yeah.
So like, what's it called? Data Live. I think it's getting a 4th season.
Too many girls.
Nice.
Ari Fuerta is getting that 2nd season.
Boku no Hero.
Boku no Hero, absolutely.
My
Is
Hero
the Rising of the Shield Hero gonna get another one? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Shield
2 more.
Rises.
He's supposed to.
Right.
They're supposed to get 2 and 3.
Okay. So that's something definitely looking forward to watching at some
And
point.
Jacob could watch all of these.
No, how about this? Each one of us give them 2 series to watch. Not in any order of this season or any that you would highly recommend.
I do not recommend Keijo. There you go.
Okay, so
Do not watch Keijo.
Okay, so let's go with Josue primero. First, would you kindly tell us what episode or series would you recommend for Jacob to watch?
I recommend you to whatever you watch it in sub.
Yeah, but what 2?
Oh,
Just 2.
Oh man, that's good.
2 not to watch?
No, to watch, just 2.
Oh, 2 watch?
Yes.
So we're talking about the number 2.
No, 2 series that you would recommend Jacob to watch.
So 2 series
Yes,
that he should not watch.
that he should watch.
Or he should watch.
Alan, can you please lead by example, please?
Sure. Why the hell not? All right. Before I basically recommend anything, Jacob, is there anything in particular that, like genre wise, that you particularly like or dislike, or something that involves maybe lore? Is that something you might like, or action, or do you like food, or do you like sports, or something like genre wise? Is there something that you gravitate towards more than something else?
Nothing really comes to mind, honestly. I'm a complete noob at this anime stuff.
You're an open book, if you will,
I'm
right?
an open book, yeah.
Yes.
How
How about
series?
this?
Are you Oh, sorry, Josue, go ahead.
I was gonna say like what kind of movies would you like to watch? What kind of genre of movies you like to watch? Do you like action? Do you like
I would say
romance?
mostly comedy.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
Okay. Alan, please, let's see your 2
All right.
example.
So I would probably suggest if it's something that's silly, that's something that would make you laugh. I'm not sure if you're more of like the meme type of laughs, or if you're more of like a dry type of humor.
Ooh, since you hang in Reddit, I wouldn't know. Yeah, that's a good one. Reddit
I
could be a
think
good.
more of a dry. I like more of a dry type of humor.
Okay, so that does help narrow it down a little bit. Because anime tends to be more of like in your face type of silly, with like a lot of innuendos and in your face type of silliness. I mean, I was gonna suggest a Konosuba, but it's funny, but it's more of a like silly, almost kind of like how can I word this
Like imagine
correctly?
Joey.
But it still doesn't. Not even.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Konosuba is one of those like almost.
It's like a meme.
Funny for dummies type of of anime. It will make you laugh, but I mean, there isn't. I mean, personally, I don't find too much substance into it. It's not as dry as maybe for your liking. But if I were to say something funny along those lines, dry wise, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute or so. Maybe Marcos wants to take the.
Well, actually, I got one.
Crack. Or please, Josue.
You could watch One Punch Man.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, you're right.
For me, the comedy is more of because the character is so overpowered that he can never find someone to fight with, and he's always like, "Why? There's no one to punch more than once here."
Right.
I really like that one.
That is true. That is true. I think that's a really good suggestion. Like as far as comedy goes, One Punch Man. Right.
And if you want to stay around that realm, also Mob Psycho would be good too.
Same creator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Mob Psycho.
If anything, I recommend more Mob. For the style, like it stays better longer. But you'll observe it. I'd still recommend both 100%.
I find that Mob Psycho is more akin to like maybe like almost like a Futurama, I guess. I guess
I love Futurama.
There you go.
I mean, and again, it's a Japanese take on comedy, I guess. Their way of being funny, but dry funny. It's the art style is very akin to maybe if I were to like maybe to compare it to something from like what's it called, Adult Swim,
back Family Guy.
No,
more
Adult Swim. Adult Swim, but cleaner, I'd say.
Yeah, like more. What's that?
Polished?
No. More of the animation wise of like name a couple of these newer animations with
like Rick and Morty.
Like a Rick and Morty type of animation style almost. You get like a little flavors and taste of that. Maybe what's the other animation with the hamburger or cheeseburger or whatever.
Bob's Burgers.
There you go. So like that type of similar type of animation almost, but you know, I guess it has that Japanese flair to it.
Yeah,
they're not super long. All those two series are not long.
They're 2 seasons long, so they're like 24 episodes around.
And the dub is good.
The dub is not good. Much good stuff.
I got two. If I'd like to continue,
right.
I'd like to be next for myself as tribute. I'd like to say Psyche K, and
oh yeah, that's really good too.
Psyche K and Space Dandy.
But yeah, that's around the same thing with like Mob and One Punch. More like Mob, more than likely.
Basically, this guy is like he literally says, "I'm the greatest." Period. Now I have to buff myself down to mere mortals, and his adventures buffing himself to the lower mortals.
So he does reverse training.
Yes,
basically.
He to the point that he puts antennas on his head in order to reduce his powers.
I mean his remote.
Yeah. I like it, and I think it's only 10 episodes. They're all on Netflix.
No, I think there's more.
There's way more than technically, that. There's 2 episodes per every episode of Netflix. Technically speaking, there's like 24 little short stories that are non-chronological.
No, but I think but there's just season 2 as well.
Oh, okay, but it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's all on Netflix, and it's pretty good.
Or Hulu. It's good, yeah.
Each episode basically has a different story, but they all have the same characters, and they kind of align with each other, but they're meant to be individual things.
Okay.
And the other one that I recommend is
like almost like a SNL, because they're basically just skits.
Okay.
The other one that I recommend is Space Dandy.
Space Dandy.
Yeah,
it's a great
also
title. Not
chronological. But the guy is basically, imagine Elvis Presley in space. That's doing. He's a part-timer doing different jobs. He's a
very
freelancer.
dandy person.
Yeah, he's a dandy in space.
And it's also on
that's
Hulu.
dandy.
And it's good. It's non-chronological. All the stories are their own episodes, and there's 11 or 12 episodes. And I like the music track. I like the music. I like the animation. All those things. Like the same creator. This guy created like the genre of comedy, and at the same time not super serious, but serious, like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo and Space Dandy. This individual, the director, created. So I'd recommend those two, Psyche K and
Space Dandy.
Dandy in Space.
Well,
Then I
a
guess
nice
Right.
little list here.
What about you, Al?
I guess for myself, like if I were to recommend something, I don't know if Gintama is in the like I guess the driest of comedy,
Yes.
but it is comedy. It's not in any chronological order per se, but I mean it's pretty lengthy. So I mean you'll have something to watch if you know if you like to watch that. Gintama would probably be one of my recommendations as for comedy wise. But then for a second one, comedy wise, I'm drawing a blank here because I'm trying to think about like a dry comedy type of thing, but I don't remember if there's anything else that's on that that tier of dryness, like not so much
Because
like
they do like to push the boundaries a little bit over there in Japan.
yeah, sometimes it comes off a little too foreign maybe for first time viewers, and like you might not get all the references sometimes, and there's some of them that it might overlap with like Western culture sometimes, or like whatever they think or consider or think about or stereotype of Western culture.
Everything outside of Japan is the West, basically.
To some degree, I mean,
yeah.
But that's why I'm like drawing a little bit of a blank because there is comedy, but again, on that level of dryness, I don't know if anything else I mentioned is, something that Jacob might enjoy. So, I mean, I am drawing a blank at the moment, but I think Gintama is one of the recommendations I would definitely promote and
You can't go
share
wrong.
with you.
You can't go wrong.
Again, I mean, if there's something else that I would probably recommend, maybe just maybe let me see. I'm still drawing a blank.
It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be funny. Just one good one.
Oh, Dragon Maid.
No. That's not dry.
I wouldn't agree.
It's,
I wouldn't
it's
agree with
moist,
that
if
one.
anything, no?
It's moist. That's like Konosuba type almost.
I mean, if that were the case, then I would definitely recommend Food Wars. But again,
Yes.
Oh yeah, if
But
you
again,
like staring at delicious food and how it's made, then yeah.
And those
That's
recipes are good.
right, and there's elements of comedy in there. Again,
Wait,
but
so it's like a cooking show that's an
Yes.
anime?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they bring it to the max.
They
so basically, it's like food orgasms. Basically,
They make
and-
food look so good that people's clothes
It's
just
so
rip
good.
off.
So that
I'm
might
sold.
be that just might be my second recommendation. Food Wars. There you go.
I like it. I approve.
But yeah,
But yeah.
I think that should wrap things up for
Yeah, I feel
this
like.
segment and I guess the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, after technical difficulties, we
And
ended
then
up.
yeah.
Nah, I mean,
And of course,
I
to
thought it
this
was good.
day, sub over dub,
I guess.
of course.
For today.
He's like, see, look at that.
Damn it, you're still under oath.
It's like
Damn it.
stabbing. He's like stabbed to the heart.
My heart. But yeah, thank you, Jacob, for coming in and through the power of the internet, and right now through the power of the internet. So I'm gonna put in your links on the show notes. Would you like any other way, social media or links that you'd like to be known for?
He's like,
I just linked my YouTube channel, Idiotsmonologue. It's the only thing I'm here to plug.
Hey, with your big iron. Yeah.
Big iron on my hip.
Excellent. So, no, definitely. Thanks, Jacob. It was a real pleasure to have you on the show with us tonight. We really appreciate your time, and definitely we will plug all your social or your YouTube in this case down in the show notes and description. And everyone that is listening, please give Jacob a follow. We would really appreciate it. And definitely rate us on wherever you're listening to our podcast. Do you have anything else to add, Josue, Jacob, or Marcos before we sign off?
This is
that's it for
Marcos
me.
signing out.
I guess this is me signing off.
Same. I'm signing off, guys. Thanks again for listening.
Bye-bye.
Till next time.
Peace.
Don't you dare.
Extra thick!
Hi there. Thank you for tuning into the LTS Podcast. All the notes and more can be found in the description. By the way, we have a social media page where content is posted regularly. Feel free to reach out at us through there or via email. Both are found in the description. When you support the show, we have a merch store where you can buy an item that you like. If buying merch is not your thing and you just want to support the show directly, we also have links to those too, if you'd like. Thank you. Also, every comment is really appreciated. Credits in the description as well. Peace.